Hello students, I am Professor Priyanka and I welcome you all for our fifth session based on JavaScript. In the last session, we have completed different operator groups in JavaScript and studied them with different examples. Later, we saw pre and post increment and decrement techniques and how they are different even though they seem to be the same. So let us see now what new we will study in today's session. So these are the contents, and up till operators we have already completed. So today we will be focusing on built-in functions of JavaScript. But before moving to built-in functions of JavaScript, we will quickly revise through the pre and post increment with some examples. So let us start. So increment and decrement operator. So what is increment? Increment means to increase the value. Same likewise, decrements means to decrease the value, right? So this plus plus and minus minus, what exactly it means we will see. So first we will see the increment operator, that is the plus plus. And we have already seen, students, there are different types of operators. In the previous lecture we had seen that there could be a unary operator or binary operator. So this plus plus is generally used with the unary, means it is a unary operator. So what does the unary operator means? Means it requires only a single operand, right? I hope you remember, for unary there is only a single operand, and for binary operators there we require two operands. So we will see what this increment operator means. This operator is used to increment the value of a variable by only one. Only increment by a single value. So if I say plus plus x or x plus plus, both means x equal to x plus 1 only. Again I will repeat, plus plus x or x plus plus means both is x equal to x plus 1, means I am incrementing the value of x by only a single value, that is only 1, right? Similarly, decrement operator is used to decrement the value of a variable by 1, means we can decrease the value of a variable by a single or by 1. So minus minus x or x minus minus, both means x equal to x minus 1. Means suppose the value of x is 10. So if I say minus minus x or x minus minus, means it will decrement the value of the original x by 1. So what value will be having? That is 9. Agree? So now here is a table where you can see pre-increment and post-increment. We have studied in the last slide increment and decrement operations. Increments means what? Increase the value by 1. And decrement means decrease the value by 1. Now we will see pre and post what exactly in means. So students, if there is a plus plus operator before the variable name, that is x. Now in the first row you can see it is plus plus x. So since the plus plus operator is at a place before 2x, so it is called as the pre. X ke pehle hai plus plus. So what exactly it means? Obviously it will be incrementing the value by 1 of x. Agree? So then what is different here? Value of the variable x is incremented before it is used in the expression. Means value x की यूज होने से पहले ही उसकी वैल्यू बढ़ा दी गई है, फिर उसकी जो नई वैल्यू है वो यूज की गई है. ओके, in the upcoming slides we are having example based on it, so don't get confused. Similarly, x plus plus. Now here again plus plus means you have to increment the value of x by 1, right? But now here you can see the variable name is there first, and after variable then there is this operator plus plus. So what now this means? The value of x variable is incremented after it is used in the expression. Now what is happening? it is first using the old value of x and then it is incrementing the value of x. This is what it means. Similarly, minus minus x means decrementing the value of x before using it. And same, x minus minus means decrementing the value after it is used in expression. What statement is given? Value of variable x is decremented after it is used in the expression. Means here old value of x is first used in the expression and then the value is decremented by 1. Right? So we will understand it better with the examples. So here is example on increment operator. Now observe the first example. What we have taken? Variable a equal to 100. Now there is a variable a equal to 100 and on the below line there is again a variable b and it is assigned with value what? Plus plus a. So what is the value of a is 100. Okay, and for b what we are giving? Plus plus a. Means what we have to do? First we have to increment the value of a and then we have to give to b. Agree? So what will be the new values now? B will be obviously plus plus a means 100 plus 1, that is 101, and new value of a is 101. Right? So note what it is given in pre-increment. The value is incremented first and then it is assigned. Right? Similarly, second example, variable a equal to 100, b equal to a plus plus. Now observe here. What is the value of a is 100 and what we are assigning? B equal to a plus plus. Means here since it is the post increment, first the value of a will be assigned to b, old value, and then it will incremented by 1. So if we print out or if we want to print a and b values, what will be the value for b? B will be 100. Why? Because it has taken old value of a and since a was incremented by 1, that is why the value of a is 101. Now we will see examples on decrement operator. Now observe the first example, variable a equal to 101. Right? So b equal to minus minus a. Now minus minus means what? Pre-decrement. Means what? पहले आपको a की वैल्यू कम करनी है और फिर असाइन करनी है. अग्री? तो b इक्वल टू व्हाट? माइनस माइनस 101, दैट इज 100. सो b में चला जाएगा 100 एंड a में भी 100 ही आएगा जो कि उसकी नई वैल्यू होगी. राइट? नाउ कम टू द सेकेंड एग्जाम्पल विच इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. वेरिएबल a इक्वल टू 101 and now observe b equal to a minus minus. Now since it is the post decrement, means you have to assign the value of a first and then you have to decrement the value. So what is my value of a? 101. That is why b equal to 101 and then a will be decremented. That is why in the output you will get b equal to 101 and a equal to 100. I hope it is clear with these examples. So let us move to the new topic. So built-in functions. So today we will be studying what a function is, where it is required. Later we will study different built-in functions which are supported by JavaScript. So let us start. So what exactly a function is? A function is used to perform repetitive tasks whenever required. So suppose there is a particular task which we require to call or which we require to perform in our program many times. So what we do, we'll simply make a function of that name and we will use that function simply by calling it. You don't need to write those steps again and again. So when there are repetitive tasks to be performed, we generally make use of function. A function is nothing but the reusable block of code that will be executed when it is called. Understand, a function will perform its action when it will be called, right? So this is what a function is. Now function means obviously it is going to perform some task, particular task. So there are some functions or there are some tasks which are already defined in JavaScript. Means you need to simply call those functions and they will automatically do their work. Since the work is already assigned, that is why it is called as a built-in function. So there are some built-in functions in JavaScript. We'll see what all are there. So first function, built-in function is parse int. Second is parse float. Students, if you observe, we already know that JavaScript is a case sensitive. So when there are two words which make a single word, so how is that word formed? First word will be all small, and when there is a new word after following that first word, it will have the first letter capital. So here you can see parse and int are two different words. So but they are making a single name. So how to identify? So the first word is all in small case, and when you are starting with the second word, the first letter of that second word will be capital, that is I. Similarly with parse float, right? Then third is alert, fourth is prompt, confirm. Now observe here two lower case. Now here again there are three words, two, lower and case. So again same strategy, that is camel case. 2 is small, that is the first word. Then again a new word is starting, that is where the first letter of the new word is capital L. And again case is the third word which is new word. So again first letter is capital. Similarly to uppercase. And is not a number. Here it is written in short because it will be too long, is not a number. So what they have written is NaN. Same logic. Different word when it will start, capital letter, right? So is none. So let us see what a function exactly is. Again it will be repetition, we have already seen in the previous slide. A JavaScript function is a block of code designed to perform a particular task. So we have seen that a function is nothing but it will be performing some particular task. Some task will be assigned to it, and if you want to perform that task, you simply call that function. In JavaScript function, a JavaScript function is executed when something invokes it. Means when the function will start performing its work, when something will invoke it, or somebody or some activity will be calling that function. So how this function will be executed? So there can be different things which will make this function to execute. Number one, when an event occurs. Suppose there is a button on my form and I want to perform some particular task. When I am going to click the button. So what will be my event? Clicking, right? So when a user clicks a button, a function could be called agree. Next, when it is invoked from JavaScript code. Suppose you are calling a function by its name in the code itself. There is no form. In the code itself you can call. And automatically means some functions get automatically called by itself. So these are some conditions where the function can execute, right? So it might come to your mind that why to use a function? So you already know the answer, that you can reuse the code, right? So define the code once and use it many times. Earlier we have seen if there is a particular task which we need to perform many times, so what we will do, we'll simply make a function of that task and we will write that code only once, but you can call that function as many times as you want. So this is the benefit of a function. Second, you can use the same code many times with different arguments to produce different results. So this means you can use the same code with different arguments. Means suppose I am writing a function to add two numbers. So these two numbers could be integers, could be decimal points, could be negative numbers, anything. So these are different arguments which will give the results different, but what action they are performing? Addition. This is what the sentence means. So here I have made a tabular format which will be discussing about the built-in functions in the JavaScript. So first we will see parse int. Now in the description you can see this function is used to parse a string and convert it into a number. So students, first tell me, how do you recognize that some particular character or particular thing is called as a string? Whenever a string is there, it is either enclosed in single quote or double quote. Agree? Remember, we have already seen in the data types. Suppose in the text box I have given 100 as the value. So if anything I am inputting in the text box, it is by default converted or treated as a string. But I have to perform some arithmetic operations on the number, but it is treated as a string. So to convert the string into the number format, I need to use parse int. Okay, so let us see the examples. Suppose my example is parse int. In the bracket you can see single quote mh100. Now it will go through the string one by one, and when it will start from the left side, it will encounter that, oh, it's not a number, it is some alphabet. So the output it will give NaN. What does that NaN means? Not a number, right? Second example, parse int in single inverted commas, it is 100. So when it will start passing from the left, it will see 1 0 0. So this first it is string, and what work parse int does, it will convert the string to a number. So in the output it will give this 100, which is now a number. It is no more a string. Agree? Third example, parse int, then it will start from left. It will parse from left 1 0 0 till 1 0 0. It finds that it is a number, and after that it finds that it is not a number, right? So up till the values where it is getting a number, it will simply convert that part as a number, and rest it will ignore. Even if there would have been some number after h, it would simply have ignored it, right? So again the value will get as 100. Similarly, parse float also works the same, but float means what? So this function is used to parse a string and convert it into floating point representation, means a number which is in decimal form. So same examples I have taken. Parse float mh. Now once it encounters from left m, so it won't go further. It will simply declare the output as NaN, not a number. Parse float in the single inverted commas 100.00. Now it is again a string, so it will convert it to a number. Okay. Then next, since it was .00, it ignored it and rounded up to a simple 100. Parse float, so 100.2, till there it will parse, and when it will find that m, from there it will ignore, and whatever it had converted, it will simply give the output. So 100.2 we will get at the output screen. Now alert. Alert means some type of pop-up window to just alert the user that you are doing this activity. Don't do that, or halt. Something like message you need to give to the user. So this function displays an alert pop-up box with a OK button. Means here you can give a particular message to the user, and until and unless he press that OK button, it will not do anything. So this is also called as a message box. See students, this message box question is always asked. Which function is called as the message box? So the answer has to be alert function, right? So how to use this function? Alert, and in the bracket you have to give the message, whatever message you want to give. Welcome to JavaScript in double quotes. Or you can simply write as window.alert. You can write only alert, or you can write window.alert and some message inside the bracket. Both are valid. Next, prompt. Now this function is used when you want input value from user at the time of program execution. Means suppose there is a case that we don't put the hard code values in the code, but we want some users to be taken, but we want some values to be taken from the users. So how you will tell the user that please input 10 integers or please input your birth date? So when this is the case, when you have to take the value from users, we require prompt function. Now this prompt function will have two buttons, OK button and cancel button. Now this both button has some significance. When user types something in the text box and clicks on OK, the OK button returns the input value. Means what OK button does, whatever input is given by the user, it will simply catch that input and hold. Okay, so this is the significance of OK button. And if by mistake he clicks on cancel, then the value will be written is null, means nothing it will return. So observe the example. Variable n, variable n we have taken. Now we just saw that whenever prompt is used, the function returns some value. So that return value you have to catch it and store somewhere, otherwise it will vanish. Okay, so if it is catching some value, we require to store that value in some variable. Agree? You remember why we require a variable? To store the value or data. So if our prompt is going to return us some value, that value we have to store in the variable. So observe n equal to prompt enter value of n. Now if this is given, user will give some number or anything, whatever he wants, and he will click on OK. So whatever value he has entered will be all stored in n. This is what here it will happen. Suppose by mistake he has entered some value and clicked on cancel. So n will have null value, means nothing, right? Next, confirm. Now this confirm, this function displays a confirmation message box with OK and cancel button. Now here you can see the function is not taking any input from the user. We don't want the user to input anything. It will simply tell that do you want to continue? Okay. If you are okay, then click on OK. If you don't want to continue, you can click on cancel. So here you will have two buttons, OK and cancel. So suppose the user wants to click on OK, it will return true. And if the user clicks on cancel, it will return false. Okay. So again it is taking the value and storing. So obviously we have to store somewhere. It is not storing, it is simply returning. And that value has to be stored in some variable. So in the example you can see variable answer I have taken, and in the answer I am taking the value whatever we are getting from the confirm. So now students tell me, confirm what it is given, do you want to continue? If I click on OK, if I click on OK and if I print the value of answer, what will be the value? Yes, what will be the value? What do you think? We just now saw that there are only two buttons, OK and cancel. If I click on OK, it will return true. If I click on cancel, it will return false. So my question was, when I will click on OK, what will be stored in my answer variable? Right, it will be storing the value as true. Right. Next, to lowercase. Now this is a string function. String function means we can use this function on a string. So it is a function used to convert the given string into lowercase alphabets. See what the name of function is? To lowercase means you can convert it to lowercase, right? So obviously the data has to be in capital letters, so only we can convert it into lowercase. Agree? So example what it is given, variable str equal to Java script. Now script is purposely written in capital. And now I want to convert this JavaScript into all small case. So what I will do, str equal to str dot to lowercase. So what will happen? Whatever is present in the str, it will get converted into all small case, and again the same thing will be stored in the str variable only, means it will overwrite. जो पहले की वैल्यू थी वो निकल जाएगी एंड नई वैल्यू उसी वेरिएबल में आ जाएगी, राइट. सिमिलरली सेवेंथ फंक्शन इज व्हाट? टू अपर केस. It is a string function which is used to convert the given string into uppercase. Now I have to convert something into uppercase. So obviously I have got something in lowercase, then only I can convert it into uppercase. Right. So same example, variable str is same, JavaScript. Now I am using two uppercase. So this Java word, from that AVA, these are the small. So it will convert all this into capital letter. That's it. Last function is what? Is none, means is not a number. It returns true if the given value is not a number. See, function क्या है? Is not a number, मतलब ये number नहीं है. Is not a number. So अगर नहीं है number तो true ही बताएगा, अगर number है तो false बताएगा, right? So it returns true if the given value is not a number. It returns false if the given value is a number. So is nan CP100, what it should return? Is CP100 is a number? No. So what it will return? It will return true, right? Because it is not a number. But next, is nan 100? See students, in first example CP100, either you could have put single inverted commas, then also it is okay. Second example is what? Is nan 100. So now 100, here no single or double inverted commas are there, so surely it is a number, right? So what a value it will return? It will return as false because it is a number, right? फंक्शन नाम क्या है? इज नॉट अ नंबर. अगर नंबर नहीं है तो ट्रू करेगा रिटर्न, नंबर है तो क्या करेगा? फॉल्स रिटर्न, राइट? So let us see what note is given. Alert, prompt and confirm are Windows functions. We can use it without the window prefix. मतलब क्या है? Alert, prompt और confirm ये जो functions है ये विंडो के functions है. हमारी जो विंडो आती है ब्राउजर विंडो के functions है, तो हम उसको window dot alert, window dot prompt या window dot confirm नहीं भी लिखे तो भी ये चलेगा. ओके. Next, what is given? Length is a property of a string object which is used to calculate the length of the string. Now this length is the property of a string object. Suppose I want to calculate how many alphabets or how many characters are there in my string. Listen, if you give any sentence, it will also count the blank spaces as the characters, right? So when you have to calculate the length of the particular string, you can use the length property, right? So we will see some screenshots of the functions, how they look. So alert, what we have seen, alert we generally use for what? Just to alert the user by giving some message, and until and unless he will click on OK, he will be shown by this message. So what alert I have given? Welcome to function. So how to get this window? So what I will write in the script tag? Alert in the bracket welcome to function, right? And once I will click OK, this function, this window will close. Then prompt. We have seen that when we use prompt, when we have to take some value or some input from the user, agree. So you can see in the prompt you can give a message, suppose saying enter your age. Here you can see welcome to function, so I can give enter your age, and in the text box he can enter the number, and when I will click on OK after entering my age, this OK button will return my age. Suppose I have written 25, so this OK button, when I will click, it will return this 25 value to some variable, and you have to catch that value in some variable. If suppose I enter the value as 25 but I click on cancel, then what value it will return? It will return null. Next, confirm. Confirm, What is there in confirm? Again, you can give some message to the user and you will give him two buttons, OK and cancel. Now when you will click on OK, what value it returns? It will return true value. And when I will click on cancel, it will return false. So this is the assignment for today's session. What is a function? What are its uses? You have to write what exactly a function is and why to use a function. Then what is a built-in function? What a built-in function means. So you don't have to mention the built-in functions of JavaScript. This is simply a built-in function. मतलब क्या है? It is not talking about JavaScript. The next question is about list different built-in functions of a JavaScript. Now here you can list all the functions which we have studied in today's lecture. So that is all for today's lecture. I hope you don't have any doubt. If you have any doubt, you can always get back to us. So that's it. Thank you.